Hello, my name is Alyssa Paz, and I'm going to be talking about one-way communication. One-way communication is a way to share information to others which do not include any revert back from the listeners. So, an example would be the news telecast on TV. So, the two communication is a way to share information to others, where feedback or reverse questioning is there for the communication held. So, the example would be a discussion held on TV on the news channels with panels of some persons where they can ask the counter questions. So there's someone in the background doing the questions and stuff. An example too would be the best example could be the staff meeting where information is given and staff members are asked to raise questions to give feedback. So when you think about teachers, you think about how they have to teach us, and there's a certain way they have to do it. There's a criteria, and they have to follow that, and then they get feedback about if they're a good teacher and all that stuff. Technology changed the way customers communicated with their brands or companies now. For example, social media changed static approach to interactive, where people now can dislike and like stuff. So when you think of social media, how big it is in today's society, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, everything, it's raised a lot. So for an example, when you design an advertisement, you see the progress of this announcement, and at the same time, waiting for the reaction of the consumers from this announcement is something that would mean one-way communication. So if you think about examples of one-way communication, there are just endless amounts of stories that you can relate to one-way communication. So you could relate it to college. One-way communication is what happens in college. So someone talks, someone listens, and then there's the main character in the absence of interactivity. Two-way communication is when someone seeks someone else's input and opinion and reaction. So it's someone who's listening and listening to the person and explaining the way they talk, the way they act, It's the body language. There's so many things. The way you're acting, the way you're sitting, your posture, pretty much anything. It's just a big thing. Let me just try. One-way communication is pretty much what I just described, but I feel an actual definition of it is for the management side is I'm trying to think. Wait. One-way communication is pretty much the way how we trust we trust people to do something and we expect feedback from them. So I could do an example I give my homework assignment to someone to give to the teacher. I'm getting the communication back from the teacher saying that they received my paper. So I trusted the person to bring it to that person. So that's how it all works, and pretty much. And I think that's about it. You can pretty much talk about anything to do with one-way communication. Communication in general is such an easy thing to talk about now. If you think about it in today's society, how all the things we have, phones, computers, there's now phones on the streets that are free where you can communicate with people. So communication is a huge thing.